It ain't too much for me to say, shit, I gotta prove. So stay the fuck up out my way, you see they got you dude. And a few can torn away, I'm in a bad mood. Please don't fuck with me today, what else I gotta do? It ain't too much for me to say, shit, I gotta prove. So stay the fuck up out my way, you see they got you dude. And a few can torn away, I'm in a bad mood. I bring, please don't fuck with me today. They say Prissy ain't on top of this shit, I beg to differ.
I told my homie I was gonna make a video at the end of this week. I really didn't know what I wanted to talk about though. That's why I hadn't made another YouTube video, cause I really didn't have anything, I guess I could say, pertinent to talk about. Right now I'm not exactly feeling good, but I do have something on my mind that I wanted to say, so I'm gonna try not to make this long. But what I really want to talk about is what being in love means to me. For one thing, you know, over the years, as some people know, I've talked to a lot of different women. You know, most of the relationships have been long distance. And you know, in the past, I often claimed I was in love with those different women. And I'm not saying that I didn't feel some type of, you know, love, you know, but what I really realized is that I was more so just hooked on those women, and I guess, as most people would say, sprung, than I was in love, because I didn't really want to change anything about myself, you know, or, you know, a lot of those women, when they made complaints, I just, you know, sometimes just said, fuck it. Eventually they left me, found somebody else, you know, and might have been hurt for a little bit, but eventually got over it. It might have been only, 2 girls I really wanted to do that for, because at the time they were, you know, girls, because we were young. It was a young lady named Jessica, who I guess you say was like my 8th grade sweetheart. And, you know, I really did think that her and I were gonna, you know, get married or something like that, you know, and we had made all these plans, what we wanted to name our children, and that's, you know, that's the one thing I kind of hate about starting a new relationship, because, you know, you eventually get into talks like that, because some women like to bring that shit up early, you know, and then once you make all those plans and you actually do feel like you want to be with this person, you know, for that, you know, whatever length of time, you know, I guess I'll just say indefinite. And then when things don't work out, you know, they go sour, you left thinking about all this stuff and kind of having regrets. Now I remember Jessica writing me a letter, because, you know, we used to write each other letters. That was the way we communicated, because it was kind of hard for us to just say how we felt, you know, out loud, so we just wrote it in letters. We used to pass notes in class, actually, or sometimes we go home and write a letter and bring it back, you know, the next day, and just pass each other letters, because I remember a few times our letters got intercepted by people, and they were reading what we were saying to each other. But anyway, one time I wrote her a letter when we broke up, and she told me the only way she would take me back is if I had changed these things about myself. You know, she said I was rude, inconsiderate, arrogant, cocky. I honestly think those two things are the same, personally. I know she said I was kind of annoying, because I know there were certain things I used to do on the phone that eventually, you know, I guess got to her. And she told me that was the only way that she would, you know, take me back. And at the time, I didn't want to change anything about myself, but the more I thought about her, and I started talking to these other young ladies, and they told me to, you know, go after her if I really wanted her. And so I sat down and wrote her a 10-page letter, front and back. And that was the only way she ended up actually getting back in touch with me, because before that, when I used to try to call, she would not talk to me at all. No, she would not answer the phone. Well, her sister would answer the phone, but she wouldn't give it to her, or either she would tell her she didn't want it. So, you know, so I wrote a letter. It was the only way I knew to get her to, you know, at least give me some type of, you know, time. And like I said, it was 10 pages long. And I think another time I wrote one, because I wrote another letter that was long also, and it was 15 pages. Because I'm a writer, I'm a talker. I can go a long way, but especially when I really got something to say. And writing has always been the way that I really, really get my feelings out. You know, because sometimes I just can't say shit like that unless I've really been in deep thought. Like right now, I actually have been in deep thought for probably about an hour or so, and then like I said, I'm not feeling too good. And I don't know if like maybe the headaches I've been having is because I really haven't gotten a lot of other stuff off my chest. So this is one thing I wanted to talk about. Like I said, what being in love means to me. That was the first time I knew I was in love with somebody though. When I went to do all those things as far as Jessica went. But when we got back in touch, the love went away. And that's when I realized that I didn't love her like I thought I did. You know, and that her and I were better off as friends. One thing is that she had changed a whole lot. And the way she had changed, it was hard for me to accept. And like I said, it just became a turnoff, and I lost interest. And, you know, that was it, you know. And we tried to have a friendship, but that didn't work out too well. Like now, we don't even correspond anymore. I had added her a while back when I had my, you know, old Facebook page, but she really wasn't talking, so I deleted her. You know, like I said, people, we've all changed so much since 8th grade, and her and I really don't have anything in common, so there was no need of trying to be friends. Another time I felt I was really in love with somebody was this young lady named Kanisha. And like in the past, like I said, I was talking to a lot of young women, and I had multiple relationships going on. You know, it was a girl I talked to in Washington, a girl I talked to in California, a girl I was talking to in Detroit. The girl in Detroit was actually the only one who knew that I had other girlfriends, because we had an agreement that we would have an open relationship, you know. But the other girls didn't know I had any other women. Well, Kanisha found out because she was doing some investigating. And that is the reason why I have a character in my story named Kanisha Kellum. Kanisha's last name is actually Green, but I wanted to make a character based on her because Kanisha was very nosy. And Kanisha Kellum is the same way. But that's another story. Anyway, you know, and when I really did realize I wanted to be with Kanisha, I broke down and told her everything. And the day that I came clean was the day that she broke up with me. And man, I cried like a bitch. I cried like a big ass bitch. I sat up there the whole night just fucking crying. I sat in the dark. I didn't want to watch TV. I didn't want to play a game. I didn't want to listen to no music. A few of my friends called. I didn't want to talk to them. And like one of my friends was like, damn, bro, you know, I hope you get over it, man. Like, I ain't never seen you like this. You know, I was really hurt. And I called her like over 1 million times, because one of the times she put me on speakerphone, because the minute I told her all this stuff and she broke up with me, she like immediately called some other dude and they went on a date. And I was like, well, damn, you know, she been having this nigga like right there. You know, but it was fucked up because when I called her, she put me on speakerphone and they all heard me, you know, sobbing and shit. And they actually was making fun of me. Embarrassing shit. You know, and so Kanisha played a game with me, a long game. Had me thinking that she wanted to give me another chance. And instead of, you know, giving me another chance, she, like I said, she really was just playing with me. And then she told me, like, she got back with me, and I was so happy at the time. You know, I was very happy. And a few of my friends said, man, I don't think she really want to be with you. And come to find out, they were right. She didn't want to be with me. She did it to get back at me. And, bro, was I fucked up. Like, thought my heart was broken the first time. It was really fucked up the second time around. And after that, she didn't even want to, you know, be in contact with me. Because, like, before that, though, before she told me the truth, I went to visit her. And that was the first time I learned a lot of things about myself as far as being with a woman goes, at least learning how different women are. Because, can't lie, when I was a teenager, I used to think a lot of women were just pretty much the same with maybe different emotions. Stupid thought. But that's the way I thought when I was a teen. That's why I thought I could talk to all of them the same way and be the same way with all of them, but it wasn't that way. And as far as Kanisha went, she said I was too rough. I didn't know how to be gentle. At the time, I didn't really groom myself much, so I had a lot of facial hair, and she didn't like that. And the one thing, though, which was crazy because it was confusing, because she said I was being too rough when I was, I guess holding her and whatnot, because she wanted to be held, but apparently it must have felt like I was giving her a bear hug instead of holding her in like a, loving embrace. And I don't know, it might have been my nervousness that had me being super fucking strong. I was more like a wrestler instead of somebody who was supposed to be a boyfriend. Like I said, it was my nervousness. I hadn't seen her, in a while. And when I did finally see her again, my friend took me to see her. I didn't know how to act when I got there. And I pretty much seemed weird. And then my friend, he kept shadowing us the whole time. We kept trying to get him to go somewhere else. And he knew what we was trying to do, but he wanted to stay there and be nosy and creepy. And then, like I said, with him being creepy and me coming on too strong or whatever, that just ruined the whole thing. But, she told me about all of it that night, because she called me when she got off work. And she told me how the whole time she wanted me to kiss her, though. And that's why I was confused, because there was a look on her face that looked like she didn't want me to be there. And that's when she told me that I needed to be more of a man. Because I told her, I was like, how come you didn't just tell me you wanted me to kiss you? She was like, you're supposed to do it. And, and that was one of them things that always confused me, because I'm not the type of person that's just going to go and do something. Some guys, they will do that, and some women like that. But I'm not that type of person. And that was a complaint of hers, that I didn't take the initiative. And like I said, nowadays, lines have to be, things have to be cleared with people. I mean, there's some women you probably don't have to say that with, because they like it when you just, go for it. But there are other women who you might go for it with, and they're going to be real uncomfortable, uneasy, and it's just going to ruin the whole thing. So it's one of them things that just, I just be like, look, tell me if you want me to hug you, you want me to kiss you, let me know when the time is right. Whatever, I don't want to just go to touch somebody and they don't really want to be touched. They don't want to be bothered at the time. I like to respect people's, space and, autonomy. That's what I like to do. Now, I know some women might have an issue with that, and that's cool, but that's just the type of person I am. I was not raised to just go out and just touch people. I don't like to be touched that much myself, no matter who it is. I always hated that as a kid. Except for like maybe family, because my grandfather, he used to, kind of wrestle with me and stuff, and that was probably about it, because I like playing with my grandfather, and a few times my father did it, but that was rare. Again, another story. I said I wasn't gonna be long. I'm coming up on 15 minutes. Well, it's 13 something, but still. Anyway, so like I said, what being in love means to me, though, is really wanting to change yourself and better yourself, especially when you really want to be with somebody. Now, I know some people say if you're going to change, make sure that it's what you want to do, and not that you just changing because you want to be with somebody. Change because that's going to make you feel good. And honestly, throughout all the young ladies I've talked to, I didn't really start feeling that way until, when me and Janae got together. It was a whole new world on some, Aladdin shit. And that's when I really, like, in the first years, the formative years, I guess you would say, of our relationship, I was resistant, very resistant to change. And honestly, I was resistant a lot the whole 5 years. But slowly, I would change different things, do things differently. Like, I wasn't really a person, like, as far as my music goes, I wasn't a person that would really make a lot of, love songs. I'm not extremely romantic, but I do have a soft side, you know. I can express my feelings. And I made a lot of songs about Janae and how I felt about her and how much I loved her. You know, she filled me with all of this, you know, inspiration and energy. She really was and still is my muse. You know, like I said, we're not together, but she still inspires me in that way. And that's one thing that I'm glad that hasn't left, actually, you know. So I don't necessarily have to talk to her about something to be inspired. Just the thought of her, you know, inspires me to make something. And, you know, it became an issue for some people that I made a lot of songs about her. Because one dude actually explicitly stated it. You know, he tried to make a joke about it. But he was like, you know, man, we get it. You love your girl, you know. I did the shit that Chance did before Chance did it. I damn near made a whole project, you know, about her. And honestly, the only thing that has stopped making a full project about her is the fact that I don't have everything I need. I need a new mic. I just need to upgrade everything, you know, so the sound can be right, acoustics. But for the most part, you know, like I said, to me, being in love is, like I said, wanting to be a better person. Wanting to do things differently than you've ever done, you know, before. And sometimes that's a scary feeling. But as I said before, a little fear is good, you know. But it's a scary feeling when you really want to change so much and do better and do things differently than how you were doing them or you did them with somebody else. That somebody inspires you that much, that somebody can make you feel that welcome and that vulnerable, you know. Because it did take me a while to really open up the same way that I probably would have been with other people. It took me a while to completely open up with Janae. Like, I was open, but it was kind of like crack door type of shit, you know. I wasn't wide open. It was just like, you know, and it's like, okay, peek out. You know, I love you. You know, I didn't want to completely say it. Then it got to this one point where I was just like, fuck it. Kick the door open. I love you. You know? And I just wanted everybody to know it. Some people, man, they didn't like it. You know, some folks like, oh my God, so cute. But, you know, so, you know, but that's what being in love is to me. It's wanting to be a better person. And I mean, that is something we should strive for in life, period. You know, just living life, you know, going through this world, you should want to be a better person. But it means a whole lot when you can meet someone that makes you feel that way or makes you feel even more of it. Because, you know, my whole life I've been striving to be better at different things anyway. But, you know, with Janae by my side, because, you know, we were, or more so, we were combined at the time. We were intertwined. It's like DNA strand, you know. When we were together, you know, I really felt like the optimum or optimal, I don't know which word is the best one to use right now, but I felt like that version of myself, the best. You know, a lot of times it's been Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 4, Mark 5. Fuck it. This was the pinnacle. That's what I felt like when I was with her. You know, and it's something I didn't say enough, to be honest. Some people might have felt like I said it too much. You know, that I might have said how incredible she was as a person. And I know she told me, like I said in a previous video, that she told me I put her on a pedestal too much. And I understand that, because she's only human. But she still, even now, despite the things we've said to each other, the arguments we've had, she is still perfect to me. And she's perfect because she's imperfect, if that makes any sense. Nobody is a complete person. Nobody is perfect. But these imperfections are what make people, it's another word I want to use besides saying perfect again, but imperfections are what complete people. It's what make them is what makes them who they are. Ugh, getting tired of all my words. You know, she, like I said, she might feel this certain way about herself. And she might feel like she still hasn't reached that level of being as great as she wants to be. And I understand that. But to me, you know, it's always going to be that way. In the heart, I fucked that up. I fucked that up. She's always going to be perfect to me. She's always going to be great. And no matter what she does, you know, she will be greater. You know, she's going to be a better person. She's going to continue to be. You know, we all are. Shout out to Keith, by the way. I meant to say that at the beginning of the video. You know, we're all going to be better people. You know, though I still suffer with my depression and my anger issues and my feelings of being insecure, it's a lot of shit. I found myself having more resolve than I used to. You know, there were times where I completely felt hopeless. Even now, though, I still look at the world with a nihilistic view. I can't lie, I do. But at the same time, I have some hope inside of me, and it's growing more because I noticed that the feelings that I do have about the world, they are not as strong as they used to be. My view is really starting to change. And, you know, I know a lot of people might call it some pick-me type shit, you know, but, you know, I really realize how different I am from a lot of other niggas, you know, and you know, just dudes, period. I have to distinguish niggas, dudes. Y'all know what I mean. I realize how different I am and how I don't think like they do. On the surface, it might seem I share similar characteristics to other people and ways they might say and do things, but for the most part, I do not think like these niggas at all. Nothing like them. I mean, niggas is just fucking weird nowadays. Like, I don't even feel like, you know, I'm a male sometimes. You know, I'm just here. Not no non-binary shit, though, but, you know, it is what it is. I just feel so far removed. You know, if I had to get on some Kanye shit, I'm a god. You know, I'm saying it in jest, though. But anyway, like I said, this video is really just supposed to be me saying, you know, what being in love means. You know, and it's an incredible feeling when you really, really know that you're in love with somebody. It's different than just being infatuated, sprung, hooked. You know, I really see now that a lot of my past relationships, no disrespect to any of the women, by the way, when I say this, but a lot of my past relationships were just fads. You know, like, sometimes I look back fondly on certain memories, but nothing that would make me be like, we need to rekindle this shit. Nah, I'm good on that. You do you, though. But anyway, that's it for now. I'll probably make another video. I don't know when. So just sit tight, Keith. But yeah, till then.
It's I gotta do. It ain't too much for me to say. Shit, I gotta prove. So stay the fuck up out my way. You see, they got you do. And a few can torn away. I'm in a bad mood. Please don't fuck with me today. What else I gotta do? It ain't too much for me to say. Shit, I gotta prove. So stay the fuck up out my way. You see, they got you do. And a few can torn away, I'm in a bad mood. I bring, please don't fuck with me today. They say Chrissy ain't on top of this shit. I beg to differ.